If you're asking me what my body count is, then where absolutely the conversation is over.
What?
Why?
Because it's giving.
Hey guys, welcome to the Blog Podcast. It's your boy Vic, and today we have Kimberly and Julian.
Again.
Sir.
And today we're going to be talking about how important is body count to you in a relationship. Like, will you date somebody the body count was high? And we always start off with Kimberly, but I feel like today we're going to start off with Julian.
Oh, the switch up.
Yeah,
the switch up.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. So personally, I'd be open to it, but I definitely have like some hesitant, just be, a little cautious, because for me, body count means a lot, and sex is just like a really big deal. So if you have a high body count, the way that I look at it, just like you've had a lot of sexual partners, and because I look at sex as more than just sex, it's really intimate. There's a lot of emotions, attached to it. So I believe in soul ties and things like that. So if you have had sex with a lot of people, that increases the chances of you just having emotional relationships, just emotional attachments to a lot of people. So, and like, if you get into a relationship, it's really hard to kind of cut those emotional attachments. So then if we get into one and you haven't dealt with that, that's going to be a problem. Also, I'm just not like that. Like, I don't just sleep around and I don't just, have a high body count. So if you have that, if I'm not like that, I really wouldn't want you to be like that. So that's just kind of like a conflict of interest.
So you hold yourself to the same standards then?
Yeah. I wouldn't like have you be like, oh, you can't do that, but I can do like that's just that's not fair.
If your body count was crazy high, you would be
You'd be okay.
You'd be okay.
Okay
Yeah, you'd be okay with it.
Well, then, like, in that hypothetical situation, yes, because I wouldn't have the same mindset as I do now, so I wouldn't have the same, values as the way I see sex. So it would be like, if I'm doing it, then, yeah, I don't really care if you have it.
Gotcha.
So that's just kind of like the way I would look at it. But yeah, I mean, that's really just kind of most of it. It's just like I kind of view sex as a certain way, and if you have a lot of sexual partners, I just feel like that kind of makes things really messy. Also, like, my faith has a lot of things to do with it, because I'm a Christian. The way that I view sex has a big
difference.
Yeah, it's a really big difference. So I think, if you do have a lot of sexual partners, it just, at the end of the day, I think it makes things more difficult. So I would be open to it, but we would definitely need to have like a legitimate discussion on like your sexual past. And like, honestly, I would be open to having one about mine, because I'm a really open person. So it can go both ways, but like, I'm gonna hold you to the same standard, and you can hold me to the same one too.
I got you.
Okay, I think that Julian's situation is a little different, because the standards that he expects from his partner are ones that he imposes on himself too.
Right.
And so that's a little bit different. But I do think that I think that most men are not like Julian. And I do think that, and hold on now.
Okay.
And I do think, in fact, I know that when we talk, when society talks about body count, they're not talking about the body count of men.
Yeah.
They're typically talking about the body count of women. And I do think that these questions and these judgments that are imposed on women aren't imposed on men. And I think that if body count is a huge issue for you, and if you need to know a woman's body count before going into a relationship, then you need to be adhering to those same standards too. Women don't go into relationships asking a man what his body count is. And I think that at the point that we are now...
Do you think they should?
No. But I think that the point that we're at right now, just like society just needs to move, or community just needs to move forward and just do away with that whole question. Like, if I am dating a guy and he asks, if I go out on a first date with a guy.
Not a first date, but...
No, but men do this, right?
No, so if on a first date?
First, second, third date.
I feel like before you go on a date, like, you guys are already communicating for a minute. Like,
No, what I'm saying is, if I'm out on a date, whatever, first, second, third, prior to the first date, we're just talking on the phone, whatever it is. If you ask me what my body count is, you are getting blocked and deleted immediately.
Oh, that's cap.
Why?
It's not. Absolutely. if you're asking me what my body count is, then where absolutely the conversation is over.
What?
Why?
Because it's giving.
It's giving.
No, not that it's giving.
It's giving.
Yeah,
No. It's giving. Misogyny.
Okay,
in my book.
But what if?
Because you're not. Because I know that you're asking me what my body count is, but I know you're not gonna tell me what yours is, and I know I didn't ask you.
You go ask.
And I know I didn't.
Yeah,
but I'm saying widely speaking,
Yeah.
in society only asks these questions and imposes these views on women.
I feel like
and the same isn't done to men.
No. I feel like I've been asked before, like, what's your body count?
You've been asked by a woman what your body count is?
Yeah.
I've never asked it. No friend of mine has ever asked a man what their body count is.
Yeah, I've been asked before. Like, I we just having a conversation and like she like asked me and I asked her. Like, it doesn't.
Even the term body count is so gross.
Okay,
like,
I'll ask like how many people have you like.
Yeah, like how many people have you been with?
I've asked
like
how many
body
relationships you've been in.
No, not relationships. Like.
But I'm not gonna ask you what your body count is.
All right, I'm gonna ask you guys a straight question. Right?
Okay.
Would you date someone that their body count was high, was very high?
I was like, how are we talking?
I'm not
I need
gonna
a
know
number.
though.
I need a number.
I'm not gonna know.
Okay. Let's say would you date someone that had 50 body count?
Oh my god. That's tough. If I'm being honest.
We already know what you.
Yeah, like again, I'd be hesitant. I'll give her a shot. But I'm not gonna lie, it's looking slim.
He said I'm giving her a shot. You know you're not giving her a shot.
50's a lot.
Yeah, but also you're also young, and so your partner would probably be young. So for a young person to have
like,
been with that many,
the bodies per year numbers is just like if you do the math, it's like
okay.
That's a lot.
Okay, so I think it kind of boils down to like how old you are, right? Let's say like what stage of your life are you on, right? I don't expect someone in high school to have 50 body count, or someone, well, when you get to college, starts getting.
See, that's the thing I'm saying. College is a very dangerous place.
Right.
That number can increase very quickly.
That's what I'm saying.
But again, though, I feel like personally, because I don't know what you guys are talking about, but if a girl has 50, if she's like with 50 people, I'm like.
That's a football team.
I don't know. I don't know how committed I'll be in that relationship. I'm just being honest, bro. Like, I don't know how committed I'll be in a relationship with a girl that's been with 50 people.
50.
Like 50, like have 50 body counts.
And I think
high.
I think
like how do you even how do you get to 50?
I think because like the way, and a lot of people don't like this analogy, but I feel like this is a really good analogy because I think the way it's asked to women is because of how relationships work. So like men are the pursuers, you guys are the receivers. Not like in a sexual, but just like in anything.
Yeah.
Like we have to pursue you. Like in order, if I want to get your attention, you're not gonna come up to me. I have to go get you. Right. So for most women, it's just
changing.
like, yeah.
I'm not gonna do it, but there are men. There are women who pursue
like,
men.
I got you.
Yeah.
So
not me though.
like at the base, it's like okay, they have to go get them. So guys aren't necessarily looked at in a negative way if they have a high body count because it kind of requires skill to get a lot
misogyny.
of women. But how is that misogyny though?
It's because if you are any situation that imposes a certain standard on women that is not also imposed on men.
But it's because we're not the same in the situation.
You are absolutely the same.
No,
it takes two people to have sex.
I'm gonna take away the same thing. I'm gonna take away, like if I was a girl and there was a guy that had 50 body count, I don't think I'm gonna be in a very committed relationship with a guy.
Well, you need to leave her alone then. If you can't commit to her,
yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying.
You're saying you wouldn't be very committed to her.
I would not be. I don't think I'll be in a committed relationship with her.
That's what I'm saying. So if you meet a woman and because of the amount of men that she's had in her past, you can't be with her. You need to leave her alone.
Of course, I'll leave her alone.
As opposed to because what it sounds like you're saying is that you would be with her, but you just wouldn't commit to her.
What I'm saying is, I wouldn't even be with her. But that's not even what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to say. If I was to be in a relationship with a girl and then I find out that she's been with 50 people, I would really take a step back. And I'm already in a relationship with a girl, so it's like I can't really just. I'm not gonna just break up with her, but I'm like that kind of gives me like a 50 people. Okay, I gotta think. You know,
Okay.
I gotta know what the hell I'm doing. You know, like if you can just be like just like it's not okay, and it's because I'm a male, so it's gonna sound like I'm talking about this like as a male, but I believe if I was a girl too, I wouldn't.
There should definitely be some.
I wouldn't want my daughter to be with a guy that has 50 body count.
I do think. Listen, I don't think that just because you're a man, you don't have the right to have your own standards and to say what you want and don't want in a relationship.
Yeah.
My only issue is that generally speaking, when we have these conversations, we don't typically speak about the body counts of women, and that's my only issue. I mean men.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's my only issue. My issue is if you're gonna impose this question on women, then you should also impose it on men.
Right.
However, generally speaking, in society out there in the world, women are not imposing these restrictions on men. Women are not meeting men and asking them how many women they've slept with and what their body count is. We're not doing that.
Guys are not necessarily doing that though. I think it just depends on like certain guys do that, but I don't think most guys do that. I don't think guys go into a relationship asking a girl, what's your body count? I think maybe in conversation or in passing you guys can have that conversation, but it's not like something that you go. I don't think guys. It's not like something that you go thinking that like, oh, I want to know what body count is. Like I'm not like that body count conversation doesn't happen initially. I think it happens when you guys are already dating. And when
so
you guys
if you're
are
already
like
dating and you already have feelings for her and she's a great person and your relationship is good, who cares how many
it doesn't matter,
people she slept with?
But I'm just saying why I said that was because like you said, guys care about that stuff. And I'm just saying guys don't really like go searching for that or like looking for that. I think it just comes up in the conversation after you guys are being together, like being with each other. Like I don't think guys just go initially and be like, what's your body count? That's something I want to know before we get serious.
I think some men do.
I'm about to say, but what if so like you play basketball, so say you're in the locker room, right?
Yeah.
You start talking about one girl, one of your teammates like, oh yeah, like I've been with that, and then like almost not the whole team, but like a lot of people's like, yeah, like I've been with her, and then like other people like, yeah, like my friend.
I feel like that's a very different. Just because a woman has been with 25 men doesn't mean that it's all you gonna know 10 out of the 25. You know, you don't.
You said 25.
I'm saying whatever. I'm just throwing out a random number. Just what is wrong with y'all? I'm throwing out a random number, right?
Okay.
I'm not saying 50 because I don't believe that most women have been with 50. Because I think that's obscene. But what I'm saying, but even if she's been with 50 men, because she's been with 50 men doesn't mean she's been with 50 men that you know.
No, yeah, but he was just asking about.
But I was just asking
but I'm saying, can we admit though that generally when this conversation is raised, when this topic is raised, when we talk about body count, we're typically only referring to the body count of women.
No, really.
No, bro, we are.
I don't know.
I feel like we are, because like respectfully, like nobody really cares how many body counts a guy has. In a negative way, they'll ask because
it's celebrated.
I'm about to say it's like a status thing.
No,
it's celebrated. When a man has been with like
it's celebrated amongst men.
Yes.
I don't think it's celebrated like in like just society in general.
But like men kind of run society.
So
let's just say you find out about a guy and you find out that he's been with 50 women, or he's been with like 100. He has 100 body count. Like how would you perceive that guy? Like would you be like, yeah, that's someone I would definitely want to be with because he.
I think that so like I said before, I wouldn't know his body count because I wouldn't ask. However, if just whatever, he just so happened to say that he had been with 50 to 100. I think, first of all, 100 is unusually high. Even for the guy who is like sleeping with everything that moves. He still probably will get to 100.
You was surprised.
I mean,
you was surprised.
If anything,
I mean, 100 is still crazy, but like I've heard some numbers that are like, yeah, they're up.
If anything, I would be concerned for his like emotional and mental health and well-being. I'd be like, are you okay? Is there like what are you searching for in, you know, in these like sexual encounters? Like, because 100 is crazy, but again, you know, I feel like I just would not go into a relationship trying to hold someone to whatever past they've had before me, because maybe he did have an issue in the past.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And he's a new person now. I'd rather judge you on who you are today.
That's what it say. That's what it say.
Which,
yeah, I would rather do that too. That's what I would rather do.
Yeah.
But realistically speaking, if someone has a very, very crazy high body count, I think that would be like definitely a red flag for me.
yeah,
Okay.
which is
But
like
that's just me.
kind of what I was also trying to say like in the beginning. That's why like I'm hesitant, cause like I'll give you a shot, cause like granted like you can change, like everybody changes, everybody evolves. So like I'm not gonna judge you, but that's what I'm saying. Like we're gonna have a legitimate conversation,
A
because
conversation is
we
fine.
need to know
Yeah.
like I said earlier, like are you okay? Like why were you doing what you were doing? Like was it to fill a void, or was it just cause?
Do we need therapy?
Yeah,
or,
like
yeah.
what's the reason? Because that is a high number if you do have like an alarming number. So I think that was like a conversation.
Yeah.
I had. But I also think it is important just to mention that like for me personally, like I hold men and women to the same standard in terms of just like, not to use it as a bad word, but like if you have a high body count, people usually call it like a hoe or something. So it's like,
which is
me,
ridiculous.
right? But like me personally, it's just like
if you got 100 body count, like I don't think there's any other words to describe.
no, like that's the thing. Like there really isn't. So like my
if
thing
you
is
got
like
100 body count though, like okay, what if you got 200?
no, like you.
No,
That's no one has
like,
200.
What do you
I'm not
mean
gonna say. I'm not
people
gonna say
have
no.
thousands?
You know what? You know what the funny thing is?
People
That
have
we're
thousands.
discussing these crazy high numbers, and I think that the vast majority of people who have these crazy high numbers are men.
Right, but the thing that I'm trying to say
And
is
women
that, like,
still aren't having discussions about the body counts of men.
and the
But
thing that
no.
like needs to be discussed is just like me personally. If you want to call somebody a hoe, like you're a hoe on both sides. If you want to call a girl a hoe, like guys
You
are
gotta
hoes too.
also
No, of
call them.
course.
Yeah.
But
Guys,
I think the thing is just like, I hate to put this like asterisk, like it's still gonna be praised because at the end of the day, like you still have to go
Yes,
get them.
that's what I'm saying, and that is the
Nah, you know,
that's-
nobody's praising
that
you
is
when
the
you got
essence.
when you get to 200.
No, absolutely
They
not. That's
praising
not
you?
true. The
That's
absolute, the essence of what
You're
I'm
the man.
saying, the
If you get 200 bodies from a guy's point of view, you're the man.
exactly.
Bro, if you get 200 bodies,
No,
though,
it's still a problem. It is still a problem. You definitely still have trauma. This is not okay, but like it's still like impressive.
Yes, that is the way society views men who sleep with
I don't think that's
a lot. It's a fact. Like it's an
I
absolute
think
fact.
it's
And that's the essence of what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is that we're not, the way we react to women who have slept with a high number of men is far different from the way we react to men who have slept with a lot of women. It is praised, right? It's because if you had a friend who was a guy, right, a teammate, whatever it is, who's a guy, and he is sleeping with another girl every night, right? You're not gonna be like, whoa, like, bro, do you need to talk? You need to slow down here. You're gonna be like, alright, do you? Like, you're gonna dap him up and be like, you know, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's how society reacts to.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Men who do
Okay,
that.
I see what you're saying. So I can, but okay, so now that makes sense as to how people can get to like 200 body counts, because you're having sex with different women every time, every day. Sorry. It's like
behaviors
like
encouraged.
before you know, you're gonna get 200 real quick.
Yeah, by the time you're like 35, you're not settled down. You could easily get to over 100.
Really?
It is
Yeah.
not hard.
I mean, well, maybe because I'm like young and I just feel like maybe at this
At that stage,
like
this
at
age
this
that
stage
you are,
right
you can
now,
imagine.
I feel like at this stage right now, I can't imagine.
But the hypocrisy is like a guy will dead look you in your face and ask you, what's your body count? And be offended that you've slept with 15 men, but their buddy, their best friend, or they themselves have slept with,
15 men?
Yeah.
or they
Because
themselves and their friends have slept with 45 women, 100 women, 50 women, and they see nothing wrong with it.
But the reason that guys don't see anything wrong with it is because of the point of view that we see it. And like honestly, this is the way that I still see it. It's just like we have to go get you. So like it requires skill to get a woman's attention. It requires skill for her to get intimate with you. For you guys, you're just picking and choosing.
Oh,
so it seems like you're just letting anyone
anybody
pick and choose.
see,
No, but
makes
also,
sense,
but it
though.
also, but no,
But
but it,
no, but that
but
makes
with
sense,
a man,
though.
but with a man, what it also says is that you're chasing, and you're chasing everything that moves.
Absolutely.
You're chasing that is.
Why? But then.
That's why I was saying like you're still like a hoe on both sides. But the reason one is praised and why the other one isn't is because it requires some form of like skill or like game in order to get that many women. Even if, like if I go in a mall and I just shout, "Hey, who wants to have sex with me?" Woman, I'm like, "What the hell? Like, why are you saying that?" But if a woman was to go into the center of a mall and said, "Who wants to have sex with me?" There would be 20 men just like, "Yes, I'll do it." So it's like it's not hard for you or require any skill or anything for you to go get it. So it's just like it seems like okay, you're just letting guys.
You're being pursued and you're accepting these. Okay, and what about it?
It just seems like you're letting just anyone hit. I'm not saying that's the case, but that's how it seems. So from that point of view, it seems like you don't care about yourself as much, or you don't value yourself as much, because you're just letting any dude hit.
And that's fine. But what I'm saying is, as a man, you don't value yourself either.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
If you're chasing down a woman, or if your aim is to sleep with a different woman every night.
Absolutely.
Or even a couple of different women every week. Like, that tells me that you also have some kind of problems that need working out.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Whatever limits we're imposing on one group of people, we need to also impose on.
We're not imposing limits, bro. We're just literally just
society does it. You specifically might not do it, but society
like
does.
The world views it.
Yeah, that is how the world views it.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
So that's but like I just want to make like the preface that in my book, and I think most people's books, like you're still a hoe on both sides, and like you still probably have some emotional stuff you need to deal with. But like that's the reason men will be praised and why women won't. Because at the end of the day, we have to go get you. So it's like a hunter. Like if I kill 25 ducks, that's impressive because you have to go kill it. Versus if a duck gets shot 20 times, well, that's a crappy duck. The duck doesn't know how to like survive. So it's just like it's like the perfect analogy.
She don't like that analogy at all.
But
like
it
makes complete sense.
Well, okay,
though.
and the one analogy that no one likes, but I like it, is the key in the lock.
That one.
You know the key in the lock analogy?
I don't.
Okay, so the key in the lock is if there's a key that can unlock many doors, it's a master key. If there's a lock that opens to many keys, it's a shitty lock. Because at the end of the day, you're the lock.
Okay, but women are locks and men need keys.
Okay, yes, but like it's an analogy to kind of like symbolize how society is and how our relationships are.
Okay, but like I said, and I'll keep saying, okay, we're not talking about locks and keys here. We're not talking about ducks. And we're not talking about arrows. Okay, we're not talking about shooters. We're talking about men and women, people who are choosing to sleep with who they're choosing to sleep with as many times as they choose to sleep with them. Now, what I'm saying is if you have a general outlook on, multiple sexual partners, and if you see multiple sexual partners in a certain light, I guess that's okay. That's your own personal views like you do.
Yeah.
That's fine. But what I'm saying is if you're asking this body count question and you're only asking this question to women, which I know you said that's not what you're specifically doing, but if we're being honest with ourselves, that is what society does. If you're asking this body count question to only women, and that is where I have a problem, right? Because if you're asking, then you should also disclose yours.
Absolutely.
And if you're gonna not be with a woman, if you're gonna not be with a woman because her body count is high, then you need to make sure that you're keeping your body count down too. And are you doing that? And most of the time, men are not doing that.
Which is true. I think just because the way you guys look at it are kind of different. I think you look at it kind of as the way you do it, but like everybody's not like you when you're friends. So like,
oh, that's true.
Like you kind of have to take away your perspective and look at like the masses, and the way that the masses are doing is kind of how she's.
I'm looking at it from society's point of view. The way society,
the way society does it. So the way society does it, most girls are not asking that question. They're not, and the reason a lot of guys are asking. They're asking because they want to know and they deem her a certain way based off of that.
When a man asks you your body count, they're trying to decide how much respect to give to you.
Yeah.
That's what they're. How much should I respect you? How much respect are you worthy of? And if you go, oh, 2, then they, you know, they use that as kind of currency that you can barter in exchange for respect. And if you say your body count is 25, then they make a decision that you're not worthy of respect, maybe not worthy of a long-term committed relationship, and so on, and they string you along, they play with you. So women, when they ask you what your body count is, just say 2.
No, I hate that. Don't lie. Don't do that. Please do not do that.
Lie.
Because I saw it on TikTok. I didn't know that's a real thing. Don't lie.
Lie.
Do not lie.
No, I think a lot of ladies lie.
No.
Because I think a lot of ladies
They
lie.
definitely do, but I didn't know that was a thing.
No,
I
it
just
is
found
a
that
thing
out.
for sure. Because like I feel like at some point you're just like, okay, since all they care about is the body count, I'm just gonna like tell them what they want to hear. You know what I mean?
God, don't do
Yeah,
that.
because
I get what.
Lying. Don't tell me 2, and I'll figure out you slept with the whole star lineup
if
freshman year.
If
you did it, you did it. Okay.
But if she did that, she's not gonna say 2.
Then don't ask. Don't ask.
If she did that, she's not gonna say 2. She's gonna be like,
judge her on
like
who is
9.
standing before you in the
no,
moment.
absolutely, but I still do need some information.
Okay, you want to tell her your body count?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the thing. Anyone that knows that I'm a very open book. If you want to know, I will tell you. But like the thing, we're not gonna do just like pick and choose and then lie to each other. And now I have this idea of you. Not necessarily, not saying. I think
that if you enter into a relationship asking a woman that question, then you deserve like whatever you get, because it's such a stupid, ridiculous question, and it's so invasive, especially in the beginning of a relationship. It's like, it's none of your business. Like, worry about what we're doing here right now. For you to ask me like how many men I've slept with in the past, like even if I've only slept with 2 men, I'm still gonna be so offended that you're asking.
So if you.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's only 2, so therefore I'm worthy of respect. No, I'm gonna be like, are you dumb?
So if you're in a relationship with a guy that you find out that he's being with like 100 women, right? Like, would you feel like, oh, it doesn't matter, like I'm just facing a guy at face value?
Who are you now? Who are you standing here in front of me today?
The thing is,
that's what I care about.
Realistically though, if a guy has like that many body count,
maybe he had issues in his
past.
past.
You'll be more cautious about who's hanging out with, what is he doing when he's alone, who is he hanging out with, does he have female best friends? Like, it's gonna be more, you're gonna be more cautious of those things because you feel like, I know you don't want to judge him that way, but subconsciously you're gonna judge him that way.
I won't know because I won't ask.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying you're gonna ask, but I'm saying if you find out. I'm not saying if you don't ask, obviously.
If he volunteers the information, that's not gonna give any weight to the way I judge him, because again, he could have had like a really fucked up past, and now he's different. He's a new person.
Okay.
I'm gonna judge him on his character and what he's showing me right now, because there are men who've probably only been with. There can be a man out here who's only slept with 5 women, and he could still be cheating on me. He could still be having an affair within our marriage once we get married. So body count doesn't. It's that for me personally. Body count. A man's body count is not a determining factor for me.
It's not the same factor, but it kind of like gives you like an idea of what his sexual life is like.
And I also feel like because like sex is different for like men and women for the most part. For a lot of cases, men don't care about sex. Men just have sex because they're horny. They'll have sex with anybody. They don't really have to be attracted to you. They'll literally like not look at you, but they're just gonna have sex with you just because they want to. Mm-hmm. But I feel like with women, you guys don't do that. You have sex with people you really care about.
But I think it's changing now, though. I think
right. No, it is.
I think that's the ideology that people have.
Changing.
But now I feel like a lot of women would have sex with people.
I do think there's some truth and validity to that, though. I do think that women kind of. No, I do think. No, you're right. But I think that women are more likely. I do think that women are more likely to sleep with men that they have feelings for. I'm not saying that they have to be in love with them, but just like men that they have feelings for.
I got you.
Yeah, I think we kind of ironed a lot of things out. We're kind of just repeating ourselves and just kind of saying it a different way. But I think like we kind of got a general understanding of how everybody feels about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're good?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Alright, okay, I'm just gonna. Alright guys, thanks for watching today's episode. Let us know in the comment section if body count matters to you and if you date someone that has a really high body count. Thank you guys for watching the Blog Podcast once again, and we're gonna have a new episode next week. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, and see you guys next week. Bye.